Hi, I'm Liz. I go by Stitch by Liz with an underscore over on Instagram, and welcome to FlossTube episode 18. Today is Friday the 23rd of December. It is about 10:30 in the morning. It is a public holiday here in Victoria today. It is the AFL Grand Final pre-day public holiday. Sure. We get today off because they do a grand final parade in the city and they want people to be able to attend. I don't follow football, so for me it's a lovely day off, which means stitching all day. This week has been pretty non-eventful, or the past 2 weeks have been pretty non-eventful. Just been working, it's been real busy. This week's been a really short week because yesterday, Thursday, was also a public holiday. Yesterday was a national public holiday, so it was a day of mourning following the passing of Queen Elizabeth II. And today is just a regional public holiday for the state of Victoria, I believe. I don't think it's just limited to Melbourne. I think it's the whole of Victoria. Who knows? So yeah, spent all day yesterday stitching and cleaning, spending time with Ross. Yeah, other than that, it has been pretty non-eventful up until this morning. This morning I noticed Ross had a bit of swelling on one side of his face. Quite bad compared to the other side, and this was about 8 o'clock this morning, and we managed to book him in for a doctor's appointment at 8:45, which was fantastic. Normally doctors are like completely not available on a public holiday, but we managed to get an appointment. He saw the doctor. We thought he was having an allergic reaction to something. He's not, which is great. Turns out he's got a bit of an infection in his cheek, which is annoying for him. But they've put him on antibiotics, so hopefully he gets better. So yeah, I am currently home by myself. He's out browsing the shops. So I'll just jump right in. Yeah. Because I forgot to say this earlier, if you're new, thank you for coming to my train wreck of a floss tube. And if you're returning, welcome back. Thank you for watching another one of my Hot Mess Express videos. So I'll just jump right into it. I have no finishes, no new starts. As much as I wanted to start like everything yesterday, I didn't. So today it's literally just whips, haul and plans. So I'll get into my whips, so my work's in progress. First up is Summer in Stars Hollow by Katie Landis of the Black Needle Society. This is stitched on an 18 count white with the called for DMC and hand-dyed. And this is where I'm up to. So I put in 1,145 stitches and I've hit 50% on this. I'm just over 50%. So I think it looks amazing. It's been so much fun to work on. Which is really fun. So this has been on my AB Singo board. So that's been getting a workout. Actually almost everything, all but one of my whips is on my AB Singo board, and that's this next one here. And that is Welcome to Tatooine by Country Magic Stitch. And this is stitched on a 22 count white. Now, I'm going to preface this by, I did about 150 stitches and I had something like 2,097 stitches put in, and I was stitching this 1/1 full cross. I had originally started this 2/1/10, went to 1/1 full cross, and then decided I hated 1/1 full cross and ripped everything out and restarted and went back to 2/1/10 stitch. However, I'm stitching this in a different method. So originally I was going left to right and you know, just going across the row and back, and I'm actually stitching this 10th stitch on the diagonal, which has been a really interesting experience. So this is what it looks like. It is very pale. So this got 3,384 10th stitches. and I love the way this is stitching up on the diagonal. Now, because of the way I'm stitching it, I'm going to show you the back of my pattern, back of my fabric, because, you know, you need to see how cool this looks. This is what the back looks like. Look at this pattern I've created. Don't ask me how I've done it. But it's so cool that the back has got this like zigzaggy sort of herringbone-esque pattern. Sort of love it. So even after ripping out the 2000 stitches, I've actually surpassed where I was on this. I think I've hit over 15% now, which is great because I think I was at just over 9% before I ripped everything out. And that was not a AB Singo goal, that was my second September WIP Go goal. That's completed, so all of my September WIP Go goals are completed, which is so much fun. Next up is companion to Summer in Stars Hollow, and this is Autumn in Stars Hollow, again by Katie Landis of the Black Needle Society. Now, this chart is available in the vault on their website. Summer in Stars Hollow is not. As far as I'm aware, it will become available once all of the retreats are done. However, I'm not sure if they're going to do this for this one, but if with Frogwarts, if you participate in like next year's year 4 retreat, you have the options of buying the previous year's patterns if you didn't join. So I don't know if Katie's going to do that with these ones, but if I find out, I'll let you know if they do that. So Autumn in Stars Hollow. This is in the Q-Snap because literally everything I've done is visible. And this is what this looks like. This is stitched on an 18 count 2/1 full cross. And this has had 614 stitches. So pretty much just the skirt and the background is what I've worked on. And again, this is so fun to work on. Grime Guide is by me. Next up is one of the stitch alongs that I am participating in. It was also called for an AB Singo goal specifically for the letter Z, however you want to pronounce it. And this is the Supernatural Stitch Along by the Witchy Stitcher. I am currently one behind, so there will be a photo of what it looks like based on all of the releases at the moment. I am stitching this on an 18 count Menacing Storm by Crafty Leanie, and this was a fabric of the month. And this is what it looks like. I love this color. So I have 8 out of 9 that have been released so far. And I think since you saw this last time, the Striga has gone in. And I didn't do her little vampire witchy fangs, the back stitch. I'm about to lose my needle. Let me put that down. I didn't put her fangs in. I liked her just the way she was, so that is what she looks like. Now, if you can see my corners here, I made an epic mistake and I wasn't about to frog everything I'd put in by the time I realized that I'd made a mistake. So, why is this not focusing properly? So yeah, now for her, the gold in her cauldron, I'm not even sure that's going to show up, sort of, is a Petite Treasure braid. So far, they all have some Petite Treasure braid in them. And there's a different colour generally on each one, which is so much fun. So that's that one. I will hopefully get the gnome done before... No, it's not going to happen before the next release because the next release is tomorrow. So that's fine. It's not going to happen. I'll get caught up eventually. Normally there's like a week-long break somewhere. So that's fine. Next up is a Stitcher Haunts Here, also by the Witchy Stitcher. Now this was an AB Singo call for W. And if you've been following on Instagram, I am posting these in my stories, and then they're also in a highlight. And this is stitched on an 18 count 2/1 full cross, and this is where I'm up to. So this got 611 stitches, and that orange looks real fluoro. It's not that bright. I love the way this is turning out. This is also on my WipGo board for a finish, and it hasn't been called yet, so I wanted to get some progress in. I think I've got something like just under 2,000 stitches to go, so I need to get a move on and put some work in this, so that way if it's called for October, it doesn't take up a lot of the time, because then I'll have to fit that and then whatever else gets called in with my October plans, which I'll go through after my whips. The second last thing I worked on is Siren of the Sea by Autumn Lane Stitchery, and this is stitched on an 18 count Blue Ocean Floor by Colour Cascade that I got in a D-stash, and it's an opalescent. And this is what she looks like. So this got 566 stitches. And this is also on my AB Singo for one more call. And it's F for Finn. But yeah, she stitches up really quickly. So I was stitching on her arms and her body, and then I've moved up to do the tentacle. So that way once I move the Q-snap down, I don't have to then move it back up. All right, and the last thing that I worked on, if you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen the drama that I have had with this piece. Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. So last time you saw this, I think I was almost finished, or I had started the first, I'd finished the second release, and I think I had started the third. I can't remember, 2 weeks ago is a long time. So once I started stitching part 3, I realized that I was out somewhere. So then I had to frog something like 600 stitches, which was a lot of fun. And then whilst I was ripping out those 600 stitches, didn't realize that one of my cuticles had split while I was holding my fabric, and I bled on my fabric. So yeah, trying to get it out was insane. Like, people had suggested using spit to get the blood out, it didn't work. Someone then suggested to use a tiny bit of dish soap and water, and that worked to get most of it out. There is still a tiny bit on here. Now, I think it's pale enough that you can't really see it, but I can see it because I know exactly where it is. So yeah, this whole project ended up getting a wash before I could put in part 3 and part 4. However, I finished part 3 and 4 this morning. So this is what the whole thing looks like. I still obviously need to finish off this side of the staircase, and that is my plans for today, is to continue working on this. I did finish up here this morning, which was what I was working on before I started filming. And this is stitched on an 18 count Vintage Country Mocha. Now, I bled in the middle of this archway, so I'm hoping that, oh yeah, you can see the two little dots look like a vampire has like bitten my piece. Hopefully it gets covered up. If not, it just adds to the creepiness. What I also discovered is I was stitching with the wrong color this entire time. From the start of this project to now, I have stitched thousands of stitches in the wrong color. So this really dark brown, this one here, is meant to be 3031. Now, I don't know what happened. I think my my skein was incorrectly labeled because my skein of 3031 was actually 3021. So I literally, this project has given me so much grief. I love it though. I'm so obsessed with this project, and like so many people have jumped on board, and I love it because like, treat yourself, but also like it's so much fun to work on. I put up on my Instagram story, which is long gone by now, so I can't even put a picture up of what I wrote, was if I should continue with the 3021 or if I should pull it out and put in the right color. Thankfully, the majority of people understood my pain and just recommended I continue with the 3021. And listen, it looks fine. It looks, you know, creepy. So I'm happy with it. And luckily I had another skein of 3021 that hadn't been opened and was correctly labeled. So I'm set for that color, so I don't need to go buy any more, which is amazing. And then, yeah, I need to try and catch up before the next release, and I think that comes out tomorrow too, along with pretty much every other stitch along I'm doing. So it's going to be really interesting trying to keep up with those plans. But my plans for October are to do the 13 stitches of Halloween, it's a hashtag on Instagram. And it's effectively whatever you make it. So it can be 13 different stitches, it can be 13 hours, it can be, you know, 13 days, 13 stitches, it just depends. Go have a look at Athena Stitching Goddess Designs, go have a look at her video, her most recent one. She does talk about it a little bit in there, and she did also shout me and Ross out in her recent video as well, because I did send her a package and she finally got it, and I was so excited for the extra treats in there because they were a surprise. But yeah, I'm so glad she enjoyed them. My card was probably a little bit sappy, but I'm glad she didn't read it out on air because yeah, no one needs to read that. All right, there are my plans. I'm going to jump into haul, and that's all I've got. I don't really have much this week. Next video is probably going to be like all of the starts, because I think what I'm going to do is actually start all of the new starts that I have planned for 13 stitches of Halloween, and put in a few stitches on each one just to get them started. And that way I can just pull them out and work on them during that time. I think what I'm going to do is 2 days on each project. If you want to see what I'm working on, it is on my Instagram stories, and I have saved it as a highlight. So by the time you're watching this video, that story would have disappeared, but it is a highlight on my main page. So go have a look at what my plans are. All right, haul. Now I have everything set on my Honey Dukes tray from the Frogwarts box because it's contained all in one spot. So I'm going to start with, of all things, Christmas, and then work backwards. So I popped out to a local craft store near my work called Lincraft. It is one of the sort of big boxy chain craft stores. It doesn't have quite as big as a range as Spotlight, which is our big box craft store, but I did need to get more of the 3031. And that's how I discovered that it was incorrect. So, you know, when you're there to buy a couple of pieces of floss, you need to have a look at what else is there. Now, that Lincraft isn't great. It doesn't really have a great selection, but they did have some Christmas fat quarters. So I got a bundle, and these are stunning. So this is the first one. And they're metallic, you can't really tell, but it's got some baubles. And then there is a navy gold stars. I love these. What am I going to do with them? Make project bags probably, who knows. There's a green with the holly. Then there is a red with presents. And I think this one is my favorite, because if I make this into a project bag, I know what's going to go in here, but I need to buy the chart. And this is navy with gold snowflakes. So when I eventually get the Quaker Snowflake in Quaker Style by Ori TM that was in the Black Needle Society Christmas in July box, it's on my list. This will be made in a project bag specifically for that chart, and then, you know, it'll just sit there. Speaking of fat quarters, I did go into Spotlight, which is our other big box craft store, and I got 2 bundles of Halloween fat quarters because I saw them and I'm obsessed. Yeah, these are probably going to be made into project bags as well at some point, but you know, probably an excuse for my 13 stitches of Halloween because I'm going to have a whole bunch of new starts. Anyway, candy corn is the first one. I've never had candy corn, don't know what it tastes like. People say it tastes like trash, but you know, everyone's different. Next up is this fabric, super cute. Then there is this one, which I love. It's just so delicate. It's so cute. And look at those little bats. Oh, there's little spiders on there too. I never noticed that. That's real cute. Then we have some skulls. And then there's this fabric. I love this fabric. How cute is that? I love this. I am obsessed. It needs to be made into a project bag. I need to get interfacing. I need to get a lot of things. It's not a priority. I've got other things that need to be done first. So that was the first bundle. The second bundle had these amazing jack-o'-lanterns, scary pumpkins, whatever, and these cute little black cats. I love these. This is amazing. And then it just had a orange polka dot blender. It had this is insane, like paint splatter fabric, and then the crows. Like, these are just amazing. So I love all of that fabric. Who knows when I'll make the project bags. We'll see what happens. I need to get interfacing. This light is killing me. Ooh. I need to get some interfacing. Unfortunately, the one I purchase is always out of stock, which is really annoying. So like when I get it, I have to buy a whole bunch. I've also run out of vinyl, so I need to get that. So it's not a current me problem. I did also put in an order at 123 Stitch because I did need to get the silk lame braid for the Dark Queen of the Earth stitch along. Get there eventually. If you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen the drama surrounding my purchase from the supplier for this stitch along. Now I did get my fabric and I did get my beads, but my fabric was so incredibly disappointing. And I can only talk about my experience from my purchasing. I've spoken to others about their experience, so this is nothing about what anybody else is saying. This is literally just my thoughts. I did reach out to the dyer and she did offer to exchange the fabric for me, which is great. However, I'm not paying $20 to get my fabric back to the US. The fabric I received was not as advertised, and I was extremely disappointed when I received it. Someone on Instagram suggested that I try and over dye it. It didn't help, it didn't take the dye at all. So it's been put away in a place in one of these drawers where I can never see it again, because I'm too salty to even look at it at the moment. I have ordered fabric elsewhere. I've ordered Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers fabric in Fantastic Fantasy. I was close. And that actually, so I ordered that from another store. Wasn't directly from Fiberlicious. It was from a store that stocks them. I ordered that on the 13th of September. They shipped it on the 15th of September. Today's the 23rd and it landed in Melbourne yesterday. So like it's already in the country, which is insane. Now Australia Post will probably sit on it for like 3 weeks. So, you know, who knows, I might have it in time for my next video. It won't be a start in my next video because I am waiting for Chloe from Fortunate Flossies to get her fabric because it was meant to be a birthday start for her birthday, which was the 1st of September. So it's not likely going to happen anytime soon. I am waiting until she gets hers so we can stitch along together. Anyway, tangent from that Silk Lame braid. That obviously couldn't travel by itself from 123 Stitch, so I did order some charts, a lot of charts. First up is Christmas Delivery by Cottage Garden Samplings. Excuse the glare. And I saw this and I'm just obsessed with this. Like, it's just stunning. I have fabric for this, so potentially could be a start for Christmas if we do 12 stitches of Christmas, potentially. Who knows? Well, I have fabric to make a project bag, so, you know. And then I also purchased a series because these have been on my radar for a very long time. And I just was like, no, I don't really need them right now. And this was probably, I think, a year ago when I first saw them. But I saw someone recently stitching these in the rainbow colorway, which is the way I'm going to do it. That's the way I saw it and the way I fell in love with it. But it is the Singer Sampler series by Silver Creek Samplers. So this is part 1. This is part 2. This is part 3. And this is part 4. So I have them. They're not on my plans to start anytime soon. I still need to organize fabric for them. But I have them, which is fantastic. I can't wait to start them, but I've got other things to start. And the final chart that I bought, is, Ross is going to have to put in a picture, is the, I don't know what the actual chart name is called, but it's the little ghosties, the 6 little ghosties from Maria Brovko, which is Cute Patterns on Maria, Cute Patterns by Maria on Etsy. I saw her release pictures of the mock-up on Instagram and it was an instant purchase for me. They are so cute. I have that. I'm just waiting for some 18 count Black Ada to come in because the piece I have is not quite big enough. And then that might actually substitute one of the new starts that I have planned for October. So we'll see what happens. And then the last bit of haul I have is going to make a lot of noise as I pick them up. I'm sorry if you can hear that background noise. It's been non-stop all day. So Ginger Stitch AU released their new floss drops. Now the first one I'm going to show you is not part of their new series, but I did order them because I saw them and I'm like, I stitch a lot of Witchy Stitcher and these would just be perfect for my Witchy Stitcher charts. And they are, oh god, they are these little planchette floss drops. So they do come with the ring, but they're amazing. I love them. So I got those ones. They were having a sale, so you know. So of the new series, there are two that I bought. The first one I am obsessed with. Like, they're just so pretty. And they are these blue blue glitter ones. They're absolutely amazing. So these ones I think are called Under the Sea. Like, look at how stunning they are. Yeah, I think they're called Under the Sea. Love them. And then the final set I got are these blue and purple bubbles, which I love. Like, they're so pretty. Now they do come with the ring as well. Go and take a look at what they've got. So it's Ginger Stitch AU on Etsy. However, they do also have some floss drops available on Amazon in the US, I believe. So go and take a look. They're amazing. I have so many sets and it took everything in my willpower not to purchase all the new releases. So yeah. Yeah, that's all I've got for today. Thank you so much for watching this messy episode. I do appreciate it. Do all the YouTubey things, like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Bye.